Hi. Um, First of all, at the onset of this program, I would like to thank Dr. Pragna ma'am, who was in contact with me for this program. And when she contacted me and told me about this program, I was really impressed. And I think it's a very relevant topic that we ought to speak today to all women, especially of those in the reproductive age group. And at the onset, I would like to thank the organizers for having me here as a speaker. And when we speak about this self esteem and body image, I feel it is a very relevant and a very important topic. And we need to realize that our culture and society doesn't place that much of an importance um, on these taboo topics. But everybody is concerned about it, but nobody wants to speak about it. So, when it comes to the self-esteem and body image, it's very important that girls, especially girls, have a good self-esteem and have a good body image too. I am stressing more on women and girls because our culture very unfairly places some pressures on women folk a lot. Like if they feel that they are not pretty, or if they're made to feel by the society around them, it may be their own family members, their own peers who make them feel like that, then they suffer a lot of mental anguish, and that anguish may last for a lifetime, and it will lead to deep psychological impact, or they may end up having psychological scars on their psyche for a long time. So it is important that people realize the importance of self-esteem and body image. So I'll be going through the basics of what it is and how it is done and all. Without much ado, I will present the topic and hope somebody benefits from this presentation. So, when it comes to self-esteem and body image, before starting, I would like to introduce myself to all my audience. I am Dr. Aruna Edial, Professor and Unit Head, Department of Psychiatry, Fodamula Medical College, Mangalore. Um, So, what is body image? We need to understand what the basic concepts of body image and self esteem are before we start on seeing the relationship between the two and how they progress, and what is the relationship of both of them with mental health. So, the body image, it is both a physical and mental concept. Yes, you may be thinking that it is image of the body, so why not just physical? It is not just how your body looks, it is not just how it looks in the mirror, it is how it looks to you as a person. How do you see your body as? Do you always see your body as, I am very fat, I have big hips, I have I don't have good shapely legs, I am very short, I am very lanky and tall. These kind of images sit in the person's mind, and how they perceive their body is also important. So it's also a mental concept. So it's a mental picture one has of one's own body. Like they regard themselves as, I am the dark one in the family. I am the one with pimples, or I am not the beautiful sister. My sister is actually more beautiful than me. How one sees oneself in a mirror, that is what body image is all about. It's not just how your body looks to others or what others tell about your body to you, but it is also how you feel about your body, or how you see your image of the body in the mirror. Then what is self-esteem? The next topic and how it is related makes sense when you know what is self-esteem. Self-esteem, the word itself is very self-explanatory. It has esteem and esteem about self. That is how you value yourself, or what is your opinion about yourself. It uh, it basically tells about opinion about yourself and how one values and respects oneself as a person, not just as a body. Like how do you regard yourself as a person, and not just one's body, but the whole self as such. Do you consider yourself a beautiful person, a pretty person, or an intelligent person, or you feel that you are a complete person, or you feel you are a faultful person, you feel that you're flawless sometimes? So is it what esteem you have about yourself is all about self-esteem. It also can be called as self-confidence, or it leads to better self-confidence, and it leads to better performance if you have good self-esteem. So what is the connection between these two? That is what we have to see. How is self-esteem and body image connected? One thing is, what you have to realize is the one thing influences the other. Like self-esteem influences body image. Body image influences self-esteem. That is, good self-esteem leads to good body image. Good body image conversely also leads to good self-esteem. So they influence one another in very good ways. Like you have seen that most of the models, or people who are considered good looking by the whole world, the way they carry themselves, or the confidence that they exude when they walk, talk, or they, in public, or when they're giving a public image, is full of more self-esteem. So they might be looking at themselves and seeing themselves as perfect bodies, and that is what gives such self-esteem. And people who are being told in their family that you are the pretty one usually carry themselves with more good self-esteem and such things. And you have to understand that both start in the image and not just in the mirror alone. Like let us say a body image. It just doesn't start by the way you look in the mirror. It also starts how you perceive that image in your mind. So rather than the mirror, the mind is the starting or original point where both the concepts start, self-esteem and body image. So if it starts in the mind, you have to start analyzing that, changing it for good also rests, some part of it, some control of it rests in your own mind, and they can change the way one understands one's value or worth. So if you consider yourself having a good body image, or you're thinking yourself has been blessed with a good body, then naturally that leads to good self-esteem. So, and it will change how you value yourself, how you treat yourself, or how you present yourself in presence of others. All these things matter when self-esteem and body image uh, uh, both are good. Naturally the way you perceive yourself is also good. Healthy body image and self-esteem are a big part of well-being. That is mental well-being, how good you feel. That is what is important about. So well-being not only includes a healthy thing, but it also includes that um, a healthy body image and self-esteem are a part of well-being of the person as a whole. It may be males, it may be females. I consider it more important for females because the society puts such kind of pressures of looking good also on females a lot. It doesn't say it directly, but yes, in a very indirect way, girls are supposed to look good and appear pretty and all those kind of things. Sorry for the interruption. Let us go to the next slide. There are some factors influencing both the body image and the self-esteem, and those factors are usually common, or they overlay each other or intersect with each other also. Though, and you may see that both the factors are both concepts, that is body image and self-esteem. These both are factors which affect the other one. So when it comes to factors affecting your body image, what makes you think what you are? That is a good self-esteem again. Person who see themselves as good often, feel their body is good also. And gender, especially women are more critical of their body image, whereas men take it a little bit less seriously. Age, people in their teens, or just getting into a reproductive age group, 20s to 30s, are more concerned about their body image than people who are 40s, 50s, or 60s. Media and messages, definitely, because you're always shown that the white is more beautiful, fair is more beautiful, being thin or size zero, like Kareena Kapoor, that is more happening, or that is a way to appear cool. And the messages the media gives out also, that is also very one of the factors that influence body image. Next is the pressure and support. It might be pressure, it might be support, either way, from peers and family. If you have friends who are very thin and they're always commenting on your body shape and size, then definitely that affects your body image. You start feeling that you're fat, you're unattractive, or you're more thin, or more mm, darker than others, and that is why people are not giving me importance. These kind of things are also influenced by the pressure and support in our immediate environment, that is family and friends. Coming to self-esteem, one is body image. Definitely, as I said, people with good body image will have good self-esteem. With bad body image, they will end up having poor self-esteem. And body weight, people who are weightier, that is they are heavier, tend to have a lesser self-esteem of themselves. So it may appear very shallow and superficial as I see it, but that is the way the world is. People who are fat are a little bit lesser on the self-esteem scale. academic performance. People who are doing very good in their academics stop caring about their body image and whether they are thin or fat, suddenly start feeling good about themselves, and that affects their self-esteem in a positive way. Sporting activities and participation. So they might be dark, they may be very thin and lanky, but if they are excelling in sports and bringing championships, medals to their, universities, states, or colleges, to their towns, district, or even countries, then they naturally are proud and their self-esteem increases by leaps and bounds. Also, accomplishments and other talents. Let us say somebody is like really fat and they're on the verge of being obese. They're dark also. They're pretty not good looking, but they have a beautiful talent. Maybe they sing very well or they do mimicry very well. Such kind of people, maybe their self-esteem increases by leaps and bounds. So not just what kind of body you have, your accomplishments and talents also will affect your self-esteem. And again, the common factor between body image and self-esteem is the society and family. They also influence what opinion you have of yourself. If you're made to feel worthless by your immediate environment, maybe friends and family who keep criticizing you, pointing out your flaws, making a joke of all your flaws, naturally the self-esteem of the person drops very rapidly. So what are the types of body images? First thing is a positive body image. The next one is a negative body image. So positive body image is when one sees oneself as a whole person and not collection of body parts. I am the big boob person in my class, or I am the thunder thighs of my class, or I'm the dark knight of my class. These kind of things, not just your color or not just a collection of body parts. When you start seeing yourself as a whole person, not just a collection of parts or not just a body type, then it is said to that you have a positive body image. Next is accepting and celebrating the uniqueness of one's natural body shape and size. If you have seen fruits and flowers in nature, you will realize that even the fruits and flowers of the single plant vary in size, shape, texture, color, everything. So it is very unusual, other than twins, to have same phenotype or same physical appearance. Each of us is different from the other. So accepting that and celebrating the uniqueness of our own body shape. So that leads to a positive, that is considered to be having a positive body image. Understanding the limitations of physical appearance. So some people know that they are very beautiful, and some people know that they are not that beautiful. They might be ordinary folks. But in spite of knowing that, if they know that physical appearances can take you to a certain point in life, not till the very end. Not everything is based on your looks. See, for example, you want to become a doctor or you want to score very high in CET, your looks will not help. So at some point, they will have to realize that looks will take you as long as it takes. It will not take you further on. So some things are based on merit, some things are based on talent, some things are even based on opportunities, some things are based on money. So they slowly understand the limitations of physical appearance. However good looking you are, some things will not be in your destiny, or it will not come along with your way. So when they understand this limitation of physical appearance, maybe they are developing a positive body image, feeling comfortable and confident in one's own body. So that is also very important. Once you start feeling comfortable in who you are, yeah, I am a shorty, yeah, I am a giraffe, yeah, I am a little bit fat, I am on the plumpier side. When you start accepting that and you're comfortable with that, yes, that is having a positive body image. The opposite of it is naturally a negative body image. So what does it comprise of? It comprises more focusing more on body's weights and flaws. I am fat, I am not good looking, these kind of things. Feeling uncomfortable and very self-conscious about one's body all the time, and feeling convinced that happiness and beauty is in being like the other. Like suppose I am thin, I will be more happy. Suppose I am like Deepika Padukone, I would have been more happier. Suppose when I smile, dimples used to come, then I would have been more pretty, and more pretty is more happiness. That is the way, if you start thinking, then that is a very negative body image, and obsess about looks of self and others. So much so that they try to mimic their role models who are usually Bollywood figures or Hollywood figures or so on. So there is a relationship of body image and self-esteem with mental health. That is how healthy you are as a mentally fit you are, or how healthy you are mentally or otherwise. So a tripartite relationship, that is a three-way relationship with the of body image, self-esteem, and mental health. Let us see what it is. One is, as I said earlier, good body image leads to good self-esteem, and both good body image and self-esteem will have a positive impact on mental health. That those people will have good mental health, and poor body image and poor self-esteem will naturally negatively impact our mental health negatively, and it may lead to a variety of psychiatric disorders. And you may be surprised that it may lead to depression or even anxiety disorders, mainly social withdrawal, social phobia kind of things, when they become afraid of facing people in public spaces, going along with crowds, mixing with friends and peers in parties or something like that, getting on the stage, all these kind of things. Social phobias are more. Eating disorders, anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. Either they starve themselves so they become more thin, more thin, more thin till they look like skeletons, or bulimia is they initially binge eat, then they feel guilty about that eating, then try to vomit, use laxatives, and try to lose weight. So the intention behind both eating disorders is to lose weight ultimately. So they go into all kind of fads and all these things, unhealthy rituals and all, and get into trouble. Stress related disorders, it may be any kind of disorders, having anxiety or having emotional disconduct, or conduct disorders, or disturbance of behavior and conduct, brief depressive reactions, prolonged depressive reactions, all these adjustment kind of disorders or stress related disorders occur. Substance abuse disorders, there are so many people who will take into substance, alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, because they are feeling sad, and the root cause of the sadness would be a disturbed body image and decreased self-esteem. Suicidal thoughts and acts. Better get rid of this body. What better way than to die? And in next janam I will be blessed with a good body. Probably there is no way I can get rid of this body unless I die. So these kind of suicidal thoughts, and even which has resulted in irrevocable fatal acts like suicide, have also occurred. And socio-functional impairment. Their grades start dropping. They don't go into the jobs that they have been aspiring for. They don't have the confidence to apply for jobs or job interviews. They don't do well in life. They're always inhibited, and they fail to get the partner of their choice. So all these kind of things will lead to socio-occupational functional impairment, and all this will definitely have a negative impact on mental health if they don't develop good self-esteem and good body image. So what is the positive impact? Here, if you see, it is bi-directional circle. You can see good body image leading to self-esteem, good self-esteem leading to good mental health again leading to good body image. So it has a bi-directional thing. For example, in body image, I'm comfortable with the way I look. I'm in tune with what my body needs, and I know that looks have nothing got to do with my worth or abilities. That leads to good self-confidence, where they feel that they are confident and capable, and they place realistic expectations on themselves and others, and they respect themselves, and it leads to positive mental health, where they make time to take care of themselves and feel they are dealing with difficult situations. They go into good problem solving methods. They handle disappointments or difficult feelings, and things may not be perfect 100% all the time, and that's okay. That is what they realize. Negative impact is the other way around. They don't feel good about their body. I don't like the way I look. I wish I looked more like those other people. There's something wrong with me. And that leads to poor self-esteem, where they think, I don't think I'm good enough at all, not just body-wise, even otherwise I'm not good enough. Other people are definitely better than me. I should be able to do these things better than others. There must be something wrong with if I can't do. Negative mental health results, nothing ever works out of me. If I can't handle this one problem, then I'm a failure. If this isn't perfect, then it's a total disaster. I feel overwhelmed and low. That is when suicidal thoughts occur. Better I die, those kind of things. I don't take time out to take care of myself, so I better die. These kind of feelings might happen. So till now we told about what the problem is. So it is never a good thing to just say about the problem and not tell about the solution. So how to build up a positive body image and self-esteem? Is it possible? First, that question we have to ask ourselves. As I said, it starts in the mind and not in the mirror. So if something is starting in the mind, then the control switch also must be there itself. So part of it is under our control. If we change our attitude, then it is in our hands to develop a good body image and a good self-esteem thereon. So the first and foremost step would be accept your body. So how do you accept your body? You can see in the quote, perfectly imperfect. All of us are not at all perfect. So there are a lot of people who are not perfect, and that is quite okay. You don't have to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. That is what you have to realize. Everybody has their own faults. You may feel, no, madam, you're telling lies. Deepika Padukone is perfect. You know, she's my favorite actress, so that's why I keep referring to her. And Deepika Padukone might not feel so. So that is where the body image comes into context, you know. We may feel that the other is very beautiful, but nobody is perfect. Good and healthy is actually better than perfect. You may see some people that in spite of going into diet or, you know, doing exercise, they might not attain a zero figure. People who are short, they will never become tall their whole life. So it is not possible through exercise or diet. People who are just 5'1", 5'2", if they want to become 5'6", they can't become. So they may wear heels, but it's still they are not tall. So you have to understand people who are tall, they can't cut off their legs to appear short. So it's the same thing. You have to understand that until you are good and healthy, it is good enough. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be, you know, beautiful like, you know, Jennifer Lopez or somebody else just to prove yourself. And like it as it is from now. So many people want to tell, let me lose weight, let me lose 20 pounds, let me lose 10 kgs. You know how happy will be, I will like myself more. Maybe not. When that happens, you will be, you know, I lost so much weight and nobody is noticing. I am not getting the attention that I deserve. So don't wait for a goal to become happy. Start liking your body as it is now, and start from now, not after a future accomplishment or after a future goal. Like if I become this, then I will like myself. No, start it from now. Start liking your body from now. That is where good body image starts building. After accepting your body, the second a little bit more difficult thing would be liking your body. Not just accepting, okay, I'm being given this body, can't do anything, you know, more about it, so no, I will adjust, can't do anything. No, that's not the attitude. You have to start liking your body also. Find things to like about your body. For example, there might be a little bit chubby person on the fatter side, but their smile might be very beautiful. Their hair might be very beautiful. The way they walk might be very beautiful. The way they talk might be very beautiful. The way they dance might be very beautiful. Their talents might be very much worthy. They may sing well, they may mimic well. They might be the toppers of the class. They might be very good at sports. They might be very good at taking care of their relatives. They might be very good persons at heart. They might be very good listeners. They might be very good friends. They might be very good people who give advice. They might be very good people who help other people. So, you know, all these things comes under your body image. So you have to start liking things to like about your body. Like I have got beautiful hair, you can tell. I have got eyes that smile. I have got a perfect denture. I have got dimples when I smile. So you know all these points add to your body image. Focus on what your body can do, not just look. Somebody very ordinary looking might be very good at tennis. Somebody very ordinary looking might be very good with mechanical objects. They might be very good at dancing. So they have to focus on what their body can do, not just look, and be aware of your body. Doesn't mean that you have to neglect your body needs. If you're fat, you need to lose weight. Yeah, be aware that you're a fat person. It is okay. If you think that you're a thin person, be aware that you're a thin person. So this joke, I liked it a lot. How to get a bikini shape body is like have a body, wear a bikini, and that's it. So, you know, any type of thing is you don't need all thinner legs, flatter stomach, longer hair, whiter teeth. All these things you don't need. You need a change in perspective to have a higher self esteem. Take care of your body. That is a third tip I would like to like to give. That is how to take care of your body. Only a person who can respect his body will take good care of his body. So first is eat healthy, amount wise, nutrition wise, and take time to eat and taste it better. Taste whatever food you eat, make it a little bit more tasty and eat healthy. And amount. Some 2,500 calories must be enough for everybody, but we often tend to overeat, and that we have to avoid as we age further. Nutrition also, yeah, equal amounts of, you know, the recommended amounts of carbohydrate, proteins, and fats, whether you're getting that, you have to see. And yes, good sleep and rest. 6 to 8 hours of refreshing good sleep you have to get every day, so that your body remains fresh and active the next day also. Be active every day. Since many of us might not be in jobs or studies where it requires daily physical activity, but we have to be active every day. Maybe you have to do some exercise for that or include some physical activity. And WHO recommends 30 minutes of intense physical activity every day for at least 5 days a week. So that is what you should aim for. And there is no young age to start with. Even teenagers can start with being active every day. And if you can't do exercise, you can get involved in some sport or any activity that you like: walking, running on treadmill, joining a gym, tennis, swimming, anything, cycling, anything that keeps you happy, you can start doing it. Keep to a healthy weight and a body mass index. Body mass index is your weight to height ratio. So depending on your height, you have to maintain a good BMI and a healthy weight. Don't strive for being perfect, but go for a healthy weight which is based on how much you are tall and how much you weigh. So you have to maintain that this. So you have to take care of your body because that's the only place you have to live. That is the house is not the place where you live. Your body is where you live. So you have to take care of your body. Make peace with food. I have seen that many people who have a poor body image and poor self-esteem, they start fearing food sometimes, or that comes from intense craving leading to intense fear sometimes. So when it comes to food, you have to make peace with food. You shouldn't treat it as enemy nor as friend. You should make peace with it. That is, you have to focus on nutrition. What you're eating is very important than how you're eating or how much you're eating. So what you're eating basically, is it healthy for you? Is it good for your body? Is it good for your body image? So these things you have to ask and focus on the nutrition part of it. Are you getting enough carbohydrates, enough proteins, enough trans fats? So enough minerals, vitamins, micronutrients. All these things have to be focused upon. And learn about calories. How much calories is required for you? How much calories is required on a sedentary day? How much calories are required if you exercise moderately? So these things you have to learn about calories and avoid unhealthy food choices. You are in a banquet, you're spoiled for choices. There is a dessert section and there is this. There will definitely be salads and healthy choices also, but we don't tend to make it. We tend to go for the dessert section more easily. So whenever there are healthy choices, try to make healthy choices rather than tasty choices. And learn about food combos. Not everything that is tasty is unhealthy. So you have to make do with combos like which are healthy also and tasty also. So if you experiment a little and if you try exploring your food, you will find such combinations, and definitely that's the way to go to enjoy your food. Exercise discipline at eateries. Suppose you're going out with friends or family. You tend to eat as if there is no tomorrow because the bill is paid by somebody else. Don't do that ever. You have to have some discipline in what you eat. Like, this is my limit and this is what I will eat. And if somebody is offering it free also, your body is not a dustbin to dump things there. So you have to be very careful what you put inside your body. So exercise some discipline at eateries and break bad food habits. Some people will eat and binge and later they will be feeling miserable. So you have to break such food habits. They will get up at midnight, they will miss the breakfast and eat at 11:30 some junk food, some sodas. So these kind of things are bad for your food and also for your body. So you have to break the bad food habits. Respect your body. Only when you have a good body image, you will start respecting your body. So treat your body rightly. As I said earlier, bodies are not dustbins. I have seen many housewives do this. Whatever is left over on the dining table, whatever their kids leave, whatever their husbands leave, whatever their family leaves, they are the people who end up eating all the leftover food because you don't want to stuff it in kitchen, neither throw it in the dustbin. It is better to throw it in the dustbin rather than treating your body as dustbin. Your body is not a dustbin for other people's leftover food. This point you have to realize if you have to have some respect towards your body and develop a good body image. Don't body shame yourself. I have seen many people self-deprecating themselves. You have might have seen that Fair and Lovely ad also, where one person tells, "Don't keep a black dot on my face because already my face is full of spots." These kind of things, self-deprecating again. No, no, I am not the fair one. My fair one is my sister actually. So these kind of things, and I am the fatter one here. Okay, I can't fit into your dress. Maybe two of you will fit into my dress. See, these kind of things. You're body shaming yourself. So don't do that. Whatever you are, whoever you are, it's good enough. And all bodies are good bodies. That is what we say, as long as you're alive and healthy. Be thankful for whatever you have got. You're living, all your senses are working, and you are not suffering from any disease. Even that is a blessing. We have to realize that when we see many people who don't even have what we have. So we have to be thankful for whatever you have got. Dress good and dress appropriately. That is one good way of showing respect to your body. Sometimes we wear such crap dresses that our body looks much more bad than what it is. So we look much more uglier than what we are. So dressing good, dressing in things where it suits us. And I have seen that many Indian women who are plump, who are rotund, or who are good more than who are actually fat, they look very good in saris. So maybe we have to choose dresses appropriately so that our we look our best all the time. Change your attitude yourself. This is a very beautiful image where a person is hugging herself or her mirror image. Perceive yourself as a whole and not just body parts or looks, because beauty is skin deep. Whatever others sees and whatever we see in the mirror is just skin deep. Inside what we are, we know about ourselves, what a heart we have, what a conscious we have. So you have to understand that beauty is not everything. It is something. I agree to that, because I like being beautiful. I like looking at myself and feeling beautiful. So also other girls. I agree to that. But beauty is not everything. Together with it, you need to have a good heart and a good mind to enjoy what you have and what others have also. And focus on health and not looks all the time. How you look is not important as long as you deliver. So you deliver the results and you are done actually. And doing is better than being perfect. Change your outlook about others also, not just how we feel. See, how would you like if somebody treated you less than others because the other person is beautiful and you're less beautiful? It is not fair. So when we also shouldn't be doing the same thing to others. If you treat somebody who is fair very nicely, somebody who is beautiful with the high regards, and the next person who is next to them who is ordinary person, but you are not showing any attention to him, not showing any respect to that person, that is not nice on our part. So we should act on to others as we like them to act towards us. So we have, don't judge others based on just looks alone. If somebody is unattractive and ugly, don't demean them or belittle them, because the same thing may come back to us sometimes. Respect people for their qualities and accomplishments, because that is who they are. You can see that there are many people in history who were not good looking. You can ask, like, maybe Abraham Lincoln or Nelson Mandela. You don't consider them the most beautiful people on the earth, Mahatma Gandhi and all, but they are great because of what they did, and how they put others' needs in front of their own needs. So it is not about looks and being beautiful all the time. So you have to respect people for their qualities and accomplishments rather than just physical attributes. And be courteous and kind to all, whoever they are. They might be ugly people, they might be moderately good looking people, they might be very beautiful people. You need to change your attitude towards them by being courteous and kind to all, irrespective of how they look to you. So, by that way only you can expect others to treat you fairly, when you treat others in a fair and justifiable manner. Develop a positive attitude. This is for not only just body image but also physical, positive mental health. Think positively always. Start your day with a positive feeling. Surround yourself with positive people, either friends or family. There will be many people in your life who are very negative and toxic, always passing comments or telling things in a very sarcastic way. If you recognize such patterns and such people, stay away from them. That is one good thing which you can do. And count your blessings. You have many blessings. If you start counting it, naturally you will get many to count. Be grateful for whatever you have. Focus on personality development and personal growth. Focus on your strengths. Identify your strengths and start working on them. And that is how you grow as a person. And develop a sense of humor. If somebody else jokes about you, or tell something about your appearance, also try to take it a little bit more lightly. Hey shorty, come here. There are many people who come to me. I am the unit head, by the way, and my PGs look much bigger than me. So they come and ask, so when will the real doctor see us? I don't take offense. I take it as a compliment. I think that yeah, okay, I'm young looking. That is why they're telling me this. So I don't take it as a criticism. So develop a sense of humor. If some people are commenting on you, don't take it negatively. Laugh along with them, and it is okay. Sometimes Don't take yourself so seriously that you find everybody's comment offending. There is a saying that nobody can insult you unless you give them the permission to insult you. So if you develop a sense of humor, all these things will come down. The feeling of getting insulted or feeling humiliation, that will come down. Stay away from negativity. As I said, there are negative people, negative circumstances. Society is very negative sometimes. Media is definitely full of negative images where they focus on size zero or something like that. Negative peers who make you feel little or small. Then, habits and substance use, these are some of the bad things which you are supposed to avoid. Behavior addictions, what are these behavior addictions? Internet addiction, social media addiction, and getting into bad habits of gossiping. All these kind of things are behavior addiction. So you have to stay away from negativity, make a conscious effort. First you have to recognize what is negative, and then make a conscious effort to stay away from all these negative things. Be present and be aware. That is, you have to live in today. You have to be aware of what it is today, not dwell in the past and believe in the future also. You have to be present and be aware. That is self-conscious about time and yourself. That is, be aware of your body. If you're fat, realize that you're fat. And if you're thin, realize you're thin and accept it and, kind of move on. Be aware of your talk about your body, not just your body, how you talk about yourself. Do you always berate yourself as being thin, fat, or dark, or whatever it is? Be aware of about others. Their challenges and journeys might be very different. You may be seeing Deepika Padukone and thinking she's the luckiest girl in the world. But have you heard her story? Have you gone through what she has gone through? We never know what the other person has gone through to be in that stage of life when we see them as, successful or not. And be aware of negative thoughts. Fight and try to counter it. Be aware of the media and its messages, recognize and challenge its stereotypes, and participate in resilience building and problem solving skills program. We call it the soft skills program. Be aware that health and happiness are your responsibility too. There is nobody in your life who is put with that job description of me trying to make you happy. It is your responsibility to keep yourself healthy and keep yourselves happy. And when all this is not possible, you shouldn't be shy to seek help. Seek help when needed. Seek help when you're feeling overwhelmed. And when other self-help methods are failing, you should seek out help. And you have to know that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's really okay to ask for help. And help is readily available in the form of professionals or community or society or peers or friends or family is available. And you deserve help and happiness. That is why you have to seek out for help before it results in fatal thoughts and fatal acts and all. So the Pooh asks here, the piglet asks here, who was the bravest thing you have ever said? And the Pooh said, help. That is the bravest thing. It's not a sign of weakness or, only cowards ask for help. That is a myth. So it requires some courage to ask for help. So you have to be brave enough to seek out help if you are not able to handle it on your own. And in the end, I always quote this. It's one of my favorite quotes. Though internet says Buddha told it, I don't believe it anymore. So I am saying it right now. So let us, in the end, what things matter? Only three things matter. How much you love, how gently you live, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. If you're not meant to be in a perfect body, let it go. You're not meant for it to be like that. So gracefully let it go and love as much as you can when you can and live a graceful life. That is what we are meant to do all our lives. Thank you. I hope somebody gets inspired by this and influenced by this and they develop a good body image and good self esteem. And wish you a very happy life and happy year ahead.